Hey there, friends. It's Pastor Derek, and I'm back with another daily dose of hope. Today is July 8th, and we're going to be looking at Psalm 62 this afternoon. And as we look at Psalm 62, I want us to understand that there's a lot wrapped up in this psalm about God being our rock and our fortress, our shield and our protector. But there's a refrain that kind of pops up a couple times throughout this psalm that I think is one that we might want to listen to. It says this. It says, "For God alone my soul waits in silence." This idea of waiting in silence is something that is repeated a number of times in this psalm. And we live in a world that's so full of noise. And if you're on social media, then you are hard pressed to escape any of that noise. And yet, sometimes in our lives, when we're surrounded by noise, we add our own voice to the noise. Are you the kind of person who sees something that's controversial or that you don't necessarily agree with and you just have to let your voice be heard? Well, sometimes it's better to sit in silence. Just because you have something to say doesn't mean you should always say it. I find myself biting my tongue far more often than I ever have before, especially in this changing and tremendously violent time in which we live. It seems as if everyone has their own point of view and anyone who disagrees with them is demonized. And yet sometimes our points are valid and yet they're not beneficial or constructive. And so if you've got something to say that's constructive, then by all means, I think it's important to add it. But if your comments are such that all they're going to do is, well, bring controversy, disagreement, and argument, maybe you're better off not saying it at all. Maybe you're better off waiting in silence. Now, I know this passage specifically talks about waiting for the Lord, and I don't want to miss that important point. But sometimes we wrap ourselves up so much in our talking and in our answers and in our own voices that we fail to see how important it is to have God right there around us. So today, maybe take a moment of silence. Maybe it's your lunch break. Maybe it's a break in the afternoon. Maybe it's right before supper time or after supper is over, you go for a walk with your family. Maybe it's in those few moments before you lay down to close your eyes at night. Find time to just wait in silence. Because the less we talk, the more we can hear. And so today, find a moment to be quiet and just sit in silence and wait for God to speak. All right, friends, that's your daily dose of hope today. Find time in a quiet moment to just listen and wait for God in silence. That's all I got for today, and we'll be back again with another daily dose of hope tomorrow. Have a wonderful day and be well, my friends.